Kramer. See, Marcus not even on the... See, these guys are already here. Starting to tighten the field up a little bit. Pace car, wow. I guess they started. I guess the pace car didn't duck off on the pit road. There it does, finally. That was kind of a weird start, but we're off and running here, guys. Yeah, Burt Behrens and Marcus Kramer did not start the race, so we've got 8 cars on the track right now. And Robbie Morrison, I kind of wanted to go back to him because he's actually Robbie Morrison is driving the Cadillac. Brian Herring, for some reason, there slipped off the track. Now gets it back going, driving the BMW, and that's going to put him back in last place right now as he kind of slipped off the track there after the start of the race. So he'll get it back going because Brian definitely one you want to keep an eye on here today. But Donahue out front in the rough, showing the way. Roughs are going to start cranking it up here, as we've already got 3 of the 4, yeah, 2 of the 3 roughs up front. Darren Kewen in third is actually in a BMW. Dog in fourth in the rough. These guys like these roughs. Right there in Cadillac is Robbie Morrison, the only Cadillac runner out there today, running in 5th, top of his class, and 5th overall, so great job by him. Crusher now up to, or back to the 6th spot after starting there on the front. He's running the Silver Crown. That's a little bit of a difficulty car, but this is what they voted on. So voted on to run in the multi-class race here today. Pretty unique paint job he did on that, like a camo color. Pretty cool looking. Brian Herring now in 7th. Well, actually in 6th once he crosses the line. He did get by Crusher and Louis Van. Had that little bit of a spin there to take off, and does kind of pick it up a little bit and gets by a couple cars. Louis Van in 8th. Some reason it skipped over Crusher. There's Crusher. He's about to catch up the dog here. That would put dog back one more place. And he gets a great run coming down the long front stretch there and going into turn one, and does pass up dog for position. So dog going back to 5th spot. Crusher in 7th, and Lewis Van rounding out the field in the BMW. Coming into pit stall here, not sure, kind of an early pit. Maybe he didn't get enough fuel in it, I don't know, but it looks like he may be rolling out, not sure, but let's get up here to our leader. And Robbie Morrison starting to pick up some spots now, has moved into the 5th spot once he crosses the line in the Cadillac. So Robbie Morrison showing a little bit of muscle here today in the Cadillac. 16, whoa, runs it way off of the course. So much for showing it up in the muscle there. Pretty cool looking paint job there. Dog with some blood on it. Pretty cool. Got a lot of compliments on his paint job there just before the race. Heard the guys complimenting him very well, so pretty cool. But he should, well, he would have been 5th, but dog did get back by him. He may get a chance to get back up there and tangle with dog a little bit. Dog running in 5th in the rough. 3rd in his class. We've got quite a mix going on up in the front. Brian Herring in 4th in the BMW. Just gets done passing up Jimmy Eifling, so passing, that's going to put going to put 2 of the BMWs up in the front. Now, BMWs do handle very, very well. Guys have been talking about this for weeks now since the BMW come out, how extremely well that they do handle these road course races. And, man, pretty awesome to see them running as good as they do. Darren Kuhn is still in 2nd place in the BMW and still trying to chase down our leader, S.O. Donahue. Doing a good job of trying to catch up to him, though. He's reeling him in. Down to about 2 seconds behind him, and that would be just for the lead of the race. They're in different classes. Our leader in the rough and 2nd place there, Darren Kuhn in the BMW. 3rd place going to Brian Herring in the BMW as well. place, Jimmy Eifling. Jimmy running the rough today. Looks like he is second in his class, fourth overall. Dog now back to the fifth place, third in his class. And Robbie Morrison, the only one out here today in the Cadillac, first in his class, running sixth overall. Good job for him out there with the Cadillac. Crusher in seventh, running the Silver Crown today. Only one in his class. And bringing up the tail of the field, Lewis Van still sitting on pit road in the BMW. Not exactly sure what's going on with Lewis, but back up here to our leader, and now second place, 1.8 seconds behind him, still trying to reel him in. Darren Kewen in the BMW today. And Darren may have a little company because Brian Herring's not that far behind them either. And he's in the BMW as well, so Darren Kewen could have a little company here in a few minutes. Brian Herring does get by Darren Kewen to go into second. It looked like Darren may have overdrove that turn a little bit, slipped up the hill, and allowed Brian to get by him. But these BMWs are pretty awesome. I see there's a lot of guys really do like these cars. Jimmy Eifling in fourth place in the rough. Got a pretty cool looking paint job in that rough. Like it. Crusher almost spinning it out, does spin it out. Whoa. Trying to get that thing back under power again. Gonna run it off the track though. Not a big car for these road courses, but Like I said, these are voted on by the drivers, what mods they want to run, and that was one of the cars that was chosen. And another one off the track there. Looks like Robbie Morrison in the Cadillac off the track as well. Robbie Morrison running in 6th. No changes up front though. I mean, I was kind of surprised. Dog still running in the 5th spot here in the rough, doing a super job. Jimmy Eifling in 4th, as Dog reeled him in by quite a little bit. So Eifling could be having a little bit of trouble. Dog closed up on him a ton right there. Darren Kewen still in 3rd. And 2nd place, Brian Herring, and these guys working over the back bumper of our leader, S.O. Donahue. These three have been together pretty much quite a bit of the first part of the race here. They got a little separated. Now got caught back up to the field, so good deal. Now looks like we do have Marcus Kramer out there. Let's go back here and see if we can find Marcus. First time we've seen him on the track because he didn't start the race. I've shown him about 10 laps down to the leader. So, but good to see him out there running with these guys. He's going to be 4th in his class in the BMW. And like I said, 10 laps down to the leader. Lewis Van finally back off of pit road, getting that thing up to speed. And looks like Crusher may have taken his car behind pit road now. The only one out there that was running the yeah, that's what he was running. I can't even think of what it was. The Silver Crown, excuse me. Silver Crown, the only one that was on the track, but I think he kind of figured that car really wasn't really for road courses. It was quite a handful. So he has decided to take his behind pit road. All right, Robbie Morrison still in 6th, Dog 5th, Eifling in 4th. Them guys were running the rough. Brian Herring 2nd. All right, what happened to Darren Kewen? There he is, running the BMW. And we were looked like we were going to have a battle for the lead there for a second. As Brian Herring comes up on the back of our leader, O'Donoghue. And as I said, these BMWs are pretty good on these road courses. So, you know, this is a big change for iRacing. And I'll tell you what, they've done a great job trying to get these cars to where they run really, really well on these road courses. They are hooked up. They are really, really good on them. So you're going to see probably a good challenge for the lead here because he is keeping the pressure on O'Donoghue for that lead. But O'Donoghue, very smooth. Got to hit his marks every time up there. He's running the rough today, and I'll tll you what, he's doing a super job staying out ahead of that BMW. Darren Kewen has fallen back quite a ways. Whoa, why does it keep skipping over him? He's fallen back quite a ways, 4 seconds back of the leader now in the BMW as well, and you can see he is quite a ways off of that pace after running up there really well with them guys, racing it up with them, but he's trying to reel them back in. Down to 3.8 seconds there for a second. So he may be working his way back up toward the front. Eifling in fourth. Back here in the rough. Second in his class in the rough. So good, doing a good job. Dog in fifth overall. Third in his class in the rough as well. So these roughs are really doing well up here with these other guys that, man, I'm telling you what, they're doing a good job keeping up with them. Darren Kewen now back 4.3 seconds behind the leader. Jimmy Eifling in fourth. Second in his class in the rough there, O'Donohue up front. And, wow, I mean, he's really been leading this whole thing. What the heck was that? That was weird. Whole thing freaked out on me. Dog in fifth. These guys really like the rough. I like the car a lot. It has a lot of horsepower for a small car, and definitely made for these road courses, but they are a handful. Robbie Morrison in the Cadillac, only one out there in his class, running 6th overall. Not bad for the Cadillac. Got a little damage on the front left corner of that car. Don't know exactly how he got that, but he may try to get on pit road there maybe when he makes his first pit stop and try to get some of that damage fixed up. Using a lot of brake on them turns. You can see his rotors glowing like crazy. Lewis Van in the BMW, 7th overall, running 4th in his class, or 3rd in his class, excuse me, 3rd in his class. Brian Herring still keeping the pressure on our leader. He's right there ready to attack. He's got a little damage on the front of that car too, so don't know what Brian got into, but a little bit of damage on the right front corner. And that could be affecting the handling a little bit, enough to give the reason why he can't get by the leader. Leader out there with a clean car, no damage on it whatsoever. I don't even think he slipped off the track at all. Showing the way in the rough. Let's go back and check on Marcus Kramer running back here trying to pick up one more position, as Crusher did take his car behind pit road, and Marcus Kramer right now 10 laps down. If he can gain about one or two more laps, he'll get by Crusher, move into the 8th position. But Marcus running 4th in his class right now. 4th in his class in the BMW and 9th overall. Lewis Van in 7th, doing a heck of a good job. Kind of wanted to get back up to the front here and watch this battle here, as O'Donoghue has stayed right there about that distance from Brian Herring, but Brian Herring keeping himself in striking distance. Driving the BMW today, doing a heck of a good job out here, showing the way, top of his class in the BMW and running 2nd overall, so doing a fabulous job. Darren Kewen way back here in 3rd, 2nd in his class in the BMW, but 3rd overall. Now 6.2, 6.3, 6.6, 6.7. Maybe struggling a little bit in places on the track, but he's falling back a little ways. I don't know what happened to Barron's. I don't know. And RB, who's RB? I don't know who RB is. Barron's didn't even, he had the pole position at the beginning of the race and didn't even start it, so I don't know what happened to him. Jimmy Eifling in 4th place overall and running, let's see, Jimmy running top of his class. Or I'm sorry, no. I take that back. He's running 2nd in his class. O'Donoghue up there in the rough showing the way today is leading the field and leading his class. Oh, it looks like he may have just gotten passed up. O'Donoghue coming down pit road. First time on pit road, about almost 30 minutes into the race. About 30 minutes. As he does do a 4-tire change. Topping off that tank of fuel, Sunoco fuel. Jackman lets the car down, but O'Donoghue not rolling off the grid yet. And that's going to put Brian Herring up in the front, so we will get up to him in just a minute. But O'Donoghue going back to the 3rd place right now. That is overall, but still top of his class at the moment. And he is away. But Brian Herring definitely showing the way now. Out there in the BMW, first time he's been out here in the lead today. First lap he has led. Hope y'all are enjoying the show. I'll try to give you the best coverage I can here. O'Donoghue actually will be 3rd, but still top of his class in the rough. Because technically Darren Kewen is actually 2nd now, so that does change things up a little bit. And he is back here 17 seconds behind our leader, Brian Herring. No big surprise that Brian Herring's out in the lead. Brian definitely one to watch on these road courses because he is good. So Darren Kewen running 2nd in his class and 2nd overall in the BMW. O'Donoghue back here in 3rd, still top of his class in the rough. Jimmy Eifling 2nd in his class in the rough, 4th overall. And Dog 3rd in his class, 5th overall. Also running the rough. And right there behind him, Robbie Morrison looks to the inside to take that position away in the Cadillac. So Robbie Morrison moving into the 5th spot. He had a little damage on that front corner. Let's take a look at it here if we can. He's got a little damage on that driver's side front corner. Got the fender kind of caved in a little, but it doesn't seem to be affecting his performance here a whole lot today. But really running well. And he's really not that far from going a lap down. But top of his class in the Cadillac, only went out there, so good job for Robbie running 5th overall. Eifling still in 4th. Wanted to go back and check on Lewis Van here. Lewis running in 7th overall in the BMW and running 3rd in his class. Had a little bit of a, not sure what exactly happened, but stopped on pit road and just seemed like he just never did get going for the longest time. Well, you didn't tell me who RB was. Who is RB? DeLandriff, who is RB? I know all these guys, but I don't know who RB is. And the rear of the field here going to Marcus Kramer. Had about a 10 lap. Didn't start there until about 10 laps into the race. So showing him 9 laps down right now to the leader. And he's trying to work this track to get caught up a little. Brian Herring still in the lead, top of his class, top of the leaderboard here in first place in the BMW, just having a heck of a good day here. Running the Honey Badger BMW today. RB's in 10th, okay. That's me. RB is me. I'm not on the track. I'm broadcasting. I'll show you. I'm not on the track. All right, Darren Kewen still in second place. Started third today and is in second. So great run by Darren Kewen. One to keep an eye on here. Not sure if he's going to be able to get up there and challenge Brian Herring, but these guys do have to make pit stops, and a lot can happen on these pit stops. I've seen a lot of races won and lost on pit road, so things can happen. Yeah, sorry about that, Delandriff. No, I kind of hard for me to race and broadcast at the same time, or commentate, I should say. A lot of guys do broadcast their races. Kind of cool to broadcast your race like that. You do have a recording of it. You can go back and watch it later. I know you do have the you can go back and watch the replay of it, but sometimes it's just not the same. You see a little bit of things differently when you're watching it, from the broadcast. But these guys really like this, and I love it. This is fun. To me, this is just as fun as racing, and I just love doing it. So, it looks like O'Donohue may have taken his car behind pit road now. Well, that's going to put Jimmy Eifling up to the third spot once he crosses the line here. And he's still top of his class in the rough, so great job by Jimmy Eifling. Another not a big surprise because he does run very well. One of the next ones to go a lap down, though. And that will put Robbie Morrison into fourth now. He crosses the line, and he is in the Cadillac. And Robbie really, man, he is really driving the wheels off this thing. Now running 91 seconds behind the leader. Yeah, O'Donohue, I don't know why he's off the track, but Dog now going to move up to the 5th position as he gets by O'Donoghue. Dog running 2nd in his class in the rough. Yeah, not sure why O'Donoghue took his behind pit road. He was up there and led 17 laps. But Brian Herring probably smiling ear to ear about that. He's up there on point and leading these guys all around this huge facility here, running the Daytona bike course. And it looks like these guys have read this track in pretty well. Got it pretty memorized. The next one that will pick up and go by O'Donoghue will be Lewis Van. Lewis running in the BMW about 6 laps down. And Marcus Kramer taking up the rear of the field in the BMW as well, running 4th in his class today. Darren Kewen still in 2nd, 17.5 seconds behind our leader, Brian Herring, but staying on the lead lap, and that's going to be the most important thing for him, to try to maintain staying on that lead lap, have a good clean pit stop, and stay within the grasp of the win here today, but running 2nd in his class to Brian Herring. Coming up on the back of Dog to put Dog a lap down, which he's already a lap down to the leader, but not a lap down to 2nd place yet. And he does overdrive it into the turn here and gets by Dog cleanly. Robbie Morrison moves into 3rd now in the Cadillac. So, boy, I'm going to tell you, he is really picking up the spots. 3rd overall, top of his class in the Cadillac. And Jimmy Eifling going back 1 more position to 4th. And he is the next one that's in danger of going a lap down to the leader. Not sure how far back Brian Herring is. Right behind him. So Brian Herring not far behind 4th place Jimmy Eifling, about to catch him and put him a lap down to the field. But Eifling still running top of his class in the rough. Beating Dog in that class. Beating Dog. Okay, that don't sound good. Well, I hope you all are enjoying this Sunday afternoon race here at Daytona Bike Course. 2 hours and 35-minute race. We're already, Down to an hour and 49 minutes left in the race. All right, Brian Herring now passes up Jimmy Eifling to put Jimmy one lap down. Fourth place car going a lap down. Still have not seen a couple of these folks on pit road. Robbie Morrison's been on pit road. Looks like Louis Van and Marcus Kramer all have been on pit road. So second place to Darren Kewen. Robbie Morrison in third, now 94 seconds behind the leader. And he is the next one to go a lap down, as he's really not that far ahead of our leader. Let's see where Brian Herring is in relation to him. Not far behind him. But not really about how many laps you are. It's all about where you are in relation to the other drivers, what place you are in the points, and that's the thing that these guys worry about the most out here. Darren Kewen in second, Robbie Morrison third, Jimmy Eifling in fourth, Dog in fifth, second in his class in the rough today. Van going to take over the sixth spot here. I believe once he crosses the line, that should put him in sixth spot, yeah, as he passes up O'Donohue. Now Marcus Kramer would be the next one to try to get by O'Donohue and move into the seventh. But Van running in third in his class right here in the BMW, sixth overall. Got a little damage on the front of that car as well. That might have been why he was on pit road for the longest time. Let's go back and check on Marcus Kramer. Back here a little ways, running fourth in his class. Got a late start, put him 8 or 9 laps down. And but he's back out here racing. Going to pick up another position here as he gets by O'Donohue here in the next couple laps. Seven cars left on the track here, folks. Not a whole lot for me to talk about, so we'll just kind of go car to car and let you watch this race. Jimmy Eifling fourth in overall, but still top of his class in the rough today. About to be passed by the leader. No, I'm sorry, about to be passed by second place, Darren Kewen. And And there you see the respect that these guys do give out on the track. There's no sense in if Jimmy Eifling's a lap down battling with these guys up in the front. Might as well just pull over and let them go by so you can continue on with your race, you know, not holding anybody up. Just real quick here, I'll show you they do run all of these different classes here, and find the other one here. Where the heck did it go? There we go. This is what they run on the weekly event. The Iditarod Series, 5.2 hours on Saturdays, starting at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. That's Mountain Time. The Ridgeback Series is this one here, the one that I broadcast on Sunday at 10 o'clock Mountain Time. And then the Preakness Series is 1.5 hours tonight, starting at 6 o'clock Mountain Time. So that's what their weekly events are here. So if you're interested to look them up, the Dogs of Racing Endurance League, pretty good league, pretty good bunch of guys. I know most of them quite well, actually. Dog, looks like Dog, first one coming off of Pit Road, just getting that thing back up to speed, as he has finally come on Pit Road here and taken, looks like he may have taken some tires and fuel. Probably have to wait till get a little heat build up in them tires to get good grip. Lewis Van in sixth now, and it does look like finally Marcus Kramer moving into the 7th position as he gets by O'Donoghue. Once he crosses the line, he will be in the 7th position. So Marcus got a little bit of a late start on the race here early, but again, check out our website at MaxSpeedTV.com. See our broadcast schedule. Normally we do broadcast up to YouTube. These guys, they like theirs done up to Twitch, so it's not a problem. I don't bother me which way they want to do it, but it will be going up to YouTube later on this afternoon, and you'll be able to catch it up there in 1080p HD. Like I said, normally I do broadcast up to YouTube in HD, 1080p HD. So, but I do broadcast 6 nights a week right now. Looking for we have an opening on Saturday nights and could possibly have something in the works there. One of the guys in Twitch chat there, their league may have something in mind, so hopefully that does work out. Eventually we get the broadcast for them. Got a brand new league that we are starting to broadcast for on Wednesday nights now, and very excited about that. The guys are really, really good racers, and they put on a great show for the viewers, and they are very excited about having me broadcast for them. Oh, they've never seen anything like this, and just, you know, it really pumps them up. Some of the guys I have had in some broadcasts before, So they're pretty much aware of it, but some guys it's new to them. That does kind of make a difference in your league. It will actually draw members, so that's something to kind of keep in the back of your mind. I've got a couple of leagues that they couldn't thank me enough for broadcasting for them, because it's greatly built their league with great racers and a lot of really intense racing. So there is quite a following that the guys that do follow the broadcasts around, and some of the same guys in a lot of the different leagues are in the same broadcasts that I do for the different leagues. So it's kind of pretty cool. Everybody likes to be on TV. And I do try to kind of personalize my broadcast. I don't call them out by their number. I try to make sure I do mention their name, or everybody likes to hear their name on TV. And I can understand that. I'd be the same way. How I got into it. You can actually go to MaxSpeedTV.com and watch this broadcast as well if you're having trouble watching it here, if it's a little jerky or whatever. Twitch doesn't give you a whole lot of bandwidth sometimes, and you know, you're kind of like on a shared bandwidth with everybody. Oh, looks like we've got a new driver out there. Who was that rolled off of the grid? We got somebody out there finally. Burt Barron's into it. There's Burt. Wow, let's go check it out. Burt Barron's finally making it in. I have to find him. He did not start the race, so but he's back here in 10th spot. So, hey Nord, how's it going? Burt Barron's finally making it in. There's somebody was looking for Burt Barron's there, Delandriff. There he is running in the sprint car. I know, not a great road course car, but these guys do just kind of pick and choose what they want to run. They vote on it throughout the week and pick the cars that they want to run on these road courses. Some of them are a little funny looking, but you wouldn't expect a sprint car or a Silver Crown to be out here, but here you go. Running a sprint car on Daytona bike. Good to see you there, Nord. All right, let's get back up to our leader, Brian Herring, as he has been leading pretty much almost all of the laps now since O'Donoghue left, but Herring's led more laps now. He has led 18 laps where O'Donoghue had led 17. But they were in two different classes, though. Herring running the BMW today, and O'Donoghue was running the rough. And we've got quite the battle going on between some of these classes. We've got BMWs up in the front, we've got BMWs in the back, so first place going to Brian Herring, top of his class Darren Kewen, excuse me, in second in his class and second overall. Looks like he may be coming down on pit road right now. So first time for Darren Kewen on pit road. Yeah, they're all real people. Yeah, there's no... Yeah. Yeah, these are people from all over the world, I'll tell you that. Some of these guys from Canada, I think some of them are from overseas. So we've got people from all over the world. These are real people driving in these races. And yes, it is online. It's on iRacing, iRacing.com. If you think you got what it takes there, go check it out and get yourself a wheel, join up, and buy some of these cars. They do have a lot of cars and a lot of tracks to choose from. Some pretty interesting combinations. So, but Darren coming off pit road, still going to maintain that second place overall. Now going to be about 90 seconds behind Brian Herring, but Brian has not been on pit road yet. And, oh, there he, just as I say that, he comes down pit road. Looks like Brian may want to try to get a little of that damage fixed up. He can probably get quite a bit of that damage fixed up and still maintain the top position out here, being Darren had already been on pit road and is quite a ways behind him. But Darren should be closing up that gap here before too much longer. All right, take care, Nord. Thanks for stopping by and saying hello. All right, Brian Herring is away, so we will follow him for a little bit here, and as he gets that thing. Oh, we got one out of dog, a little loose coming off of the turn. Whew, that was close. Almost seen a wreck there, folks. All right, so Darren Kewen back here in second, 85 seconds behind our leader. No, I'm sorry, 35. That kind of got chopped down once he crossed the line. As our leader Brian Herring pitted, got some of that damage fixed up and is back out there and still running 30 seconds ahead of Darren Kewen. And Darren trying to chop that down a little bit if he can. Third place, Jimmy Eifling, top of his class in the rough. Been up here, top of his class all day in the rough, I should say. Dog been on pit road already today. It looks like everybody's had a chance to be on pit road, so. But Dog running second in his class in the rough. Robbie Morrison, the only one out here driving the Cadillac today, so obviously will win his class. Yeah, see the rotor's glowing, so he is really using a lot of brake on these turns. Running fifth overall, Marcus Kramer. Whoa, why does it do that? Skips over Lewis Van. Sixth place in the BMW, running third in his class. Got to be proud of that run, driving the camo BMW. Good camo paint job on that. Like that. Sharp looking. Marcus Kramer finally getting out a few laps down. Got a late start in the race, but here he is running seventh overall and fourth in his class in the BMW. And O'Donoghue off the track and Crusher off the track. But Burt Barron's out here in the sprint car, running in 10th, trying to pick up maybe a couple of positions here if he can get a few more laps in. But he's running 32 laps down to the leader. But he will pick up a position here in another lap or two as he'll get by Crusher. And then about another 15 laps he'll get by O'Donoghue. You wouldn't think a sprint car would be that good out on these road courses, but it looks like it would be a lot of fun. They turn left good, but they don't turn right very good. And then the last one out there, let's go back and check on Burt Barron's. Oh, I'm sorry, we were on Burt Barron's. Duh. A latecomer into the race. All right, let's get up to our leader. Brian Herring has been leading for 22 laps now, so very good out there in the front. Led the most laps here today, top of his class. Nobody really right around close to him here to give him any challenge, but we will go back to the second place. 29 seconds behind our leader, Darren Kewen, also in the BMW. So again, the BMW showing the way here today. Hey Andrew, how you doing? What do you think of this combination? Pretty interesting, ain't it? All right, third place, Jimmy Eifling in the rough. Jimmy been top of his class pretty much all day long and running really well in the rough. Couple laps down to the leader, but leading his class. You know, multi-class is a whole lot different than just running a single class race. It does make a big difference, and because that way you have more than one winner. You know, we have today we'll probably have 3 or 4 winners. So. The Dogs of Racing Endurance, I'll tell you what, they have a great league here, and if you think you got what it takes to run these endurance races, 2.5 hours that they run today, tonight they'll run another hour and a half. So dedicated racers. Yesterday they ran 5.5 hours. So I guess that was quite the race as it turned out to be. And the server was kind of messed up on them, so they wound up, they only ran about 2.5 hours of the 5.5 because the server messed up on them. Something about the pace car. I was trying to listen to what Dog was saying, but I was busy doing getting stuff ready for the broadcast and didn't hear exactly all what he said. Dog back here, 4th overall, 2nd in his class in the rough. Doing a great job. Those of you that know about the multi-class know what I'm talking about. It's you don't just have one winner. I mean, of course, you always have the winner of the overall part of it, which is Brian Herring right now. But you also have other winners in the class too. So, and at the end of this, we'll talk to each and every driver, no matter where they finished. Talk to them about their race and ask them how everything went for them, how their car felt on the track. And I think you're going to hear a lot of very interesting comments by some of the drivers, especially the BMW guys. The BMW guys are going to probably tell you about a lot of the good things about that car and how good it feels out on this track. So All right, let's go back here a little further. Robbie Morrison in 5th. Only one driving the Cadillac today, so obviously will be the winner of his class. 5th overall, doing a superb job in that Cadillac. Got a little damage on it, but I believe he may have been on pit road a couple times and tried to get a little bit of that damage fixed up. And still out here running pretty well. Lewis Van in the BMW running 3rd in his class. Marcus Kramer 4th in his class, now coming down pit road. Looked like Dog coming on pit road as well. These guys actually back here this far back could probably about come down pit road anytime they want to, because it's not really going to affect their position. Dog doing a 4-tire change there as they jacked his car right up off of the ground. 4-tire change probably the best thing to do here anytime you stop on pit road. Marcus Kramer may be trying to get a little of that damage fixed up on that car. Not sure how he got it, but alright, and then of course the last one on the field, Burt Barons out here in the sprint car, and in just a few more laps will pick up another position on the track. But running the sprint car on Daytona bike, I know, laugh what you want, but that's what these guys like to do. They like to mix it up with the impossible combinations, the interesting combinations, and that's what makes the Dogs of Racing Endurance kind of set apart from a lot of other road course leagues. Interesting concept. Not sure, but Marcus Kramer may have taken his car behind pit road. I don't know. Dog still on pit road. Oh, Robbie Morrison. What happened to Robbie? Let's go back and take a look at this. What happened to Robbie? Looked like coming into turn 1, he may have lost it. Drives it in there pretty hard, catches that white line and tries to pinch it down and just loses it right there. Does tag the wall just a little, but I don't really think he got any damage on it as far as anything serious. But he is back out here racing. Now running 4th overall in the Cadillac as he does pass up Dog. Dog will go back to the 5th place, but I'm not too sure. I don't even see him on the track as well, so he may be still sitting on pit road here. Let's go down here a little closer and we'll check it out. Well, not that close. Can't find the right camera angle. Yeah, he is still sitting on pit road. Don't know exactly what happened there, but maybe getting a little damage fixed up. Still running 2nd in his class to Jimmy Eifling, so we'll get up here to Jimmy, and he is coming around here, so we will check in with him. Jimmy Eifling still at the top of his class, 3rd overall now. And he's got our leader, Brian Herring, coming up on his tail here to put him another lap down. And Jimmy Eifling goes another lap down to Brian Herring. Not a whole lot of cars left out on the track because it looks like Marcus Kramer has taken his behind pit road now as well. So, down to about 7 drivers left on the track. Okay, Robbie Morrison in 4th overall, top of his class in the Cadillac. Dog 2nd in his class in the rough, running 5th overall. And back here in, well, did that again. Why does it keep skipping over Lewis Van? I don't know why it keeps doing that. Skipped over Lewis Van again, but there he is running 6th overall and 3rd in his class in the BMW today. Not a bad run for him. He did start a little late on the grid, but still up here running 3rd in his class. And then, of course, the last one, let's see, Burt Barron's still running the sprint car out here, and if he can pick up a few more positions, let's see, in about another 8 laps, he will pick up 1 more position and go into 8th as he'll get by O'Donoghue. Darren Kewen now 30 seconds behind our leader, Brian Herring. Those two the only ones on the lead lap running the BMWs. So the BMW is definitely showing the way today. And they're doing a great job out there to, on these road courses. And again, like I said, and I don't mean to keep repeating myself, but I'm telling you what, these cars right here are made for this kind of racing. And they're proving it here once again. Just how good these cars are on the road courses. Brand new car to iRacing. We've only had it a couple of weeks, and there's since the last build. And I'll tell you what, I think a lot of people were really excited to hear about it when it started coming out, and I think we've got a lot of people who bought this car because it really handles well. I haven't had a whole much of a chance here to test the car out, and but from what I'm hearing, good reports on it, that it is a lot of fun to drive. It holds the track very well. It's not real fast, but it's faster in the turns than most of the other cars out there because of the good grip that it does have in the turns. Is what it's made for. Some of the lap times here, Darren's still turning almost the fastest lap as his fastest one, only a couple of tenths of a second off. But let's get up to our leader. Now our leader's fallen off by quite a little bit. I think he's kind of backpedaling just a little, taking his time. No sense in being out there in a great big huge rush, taking a chance of wrecking it. Falling off about a second and a half on that last lap. Third place, Jimmy Eifling. About a second and a half off of his lap as well. So running 3rd overall, top of his class in the rough. Showing the superiority of the rough out here today. They are a very good car. I'm not a big road course racer with these cars, but They are a lot of fun, a lot of horsepower in these little things, I'll tell you. Robbie Morrison, well, looks like Robbie may be off of the track now in the Cadillac. Dog up here, second in his class in the rough. But Robbie Morrison, wow, I don't know what happened to Robbie. It looks like he may have taken his car off of the track, which he did. Well, that's unfortunate. We're losing drivers left and right here, folks. We still got an hour and 13 minutes to go in this race, and we're losing a lot of drivers. Lewis Band's still out here third in his class, and the BMW running sixth overall. Marcus Kramer off, O'Donoghue off, but Burt Barron's still out here running ninth right now in the sprint car. A few more laps and he will pick up another position. Well, it's about another 6 or 7 laps and he will pick up the 8th spot. Now he's coming down pit road. Going to get serviced here, probably take 4 tires and some fuel. Nope. Looks like maybe he may have taken his car. Well, we're going to get down there somehow. It looks like he has taken his car behind pit road too. Well. I believe he did. And that's enough. Dog in 5th. Eifling coming up behind him to put Dog a lap down to him, which Dog is about 3 laps behind Eifling, but still running second in his class. And this being an endurance race, that's what counts, is making sure that you're still running in your class. So, Dog's still running second in his class. It doesn't matter how many laps he's down. Safety means everything here, keeping those incident points down. That's how they do govern their league here, is on safety. Darren Kewen still in second, 35 seconds behind our leader, Brian Herring. And I know the leader don't get a whole lot of camera time, so we're going to go up and give him a little bit of camera time here in a minute. We'll stay on Darren Kewen just for a few minutes. Well, the smaller fields does kind of make a little better for good racing out here. You don't have a lot of lap down cars to contend with and all that, so smaller fields are good, but I think Dog wants to build up the league just a little more, get some more good long endurance drivers out here on the track, and I think it'll be a lot more fun for the guys. Yeah, Robbie Morrison did take his car behind pit road, was driving the Cadillac. So he will still finish in the top of his class, and hopefully we'll get a chance to talk to him later on. But it looked like he had a lot of fun out there. Did have a little damage on the right front corner, but I thought he got that fixed up. But it could have been affecting the tow on that car and made it a little bit difficult to drive. So and getting up to our leader, Brian Herring in the Honey Badger BMW. Honey Badger don't care. Brian Herring, one of the premier drivers here in the league, definitely knows how to get around a lot of these places, and is good about in any mod that you throw him in there. He can drive the heck out of it, and showing his dominance here today, holding it out front now. He's been out front for 35 laps. Coming down to an hour to go here in about another 7 minutes. So they've been racing they've been racing an hour and a half right now. Two 2 hours and 35 minutes to race here. Burt Barron's back out on the track, driving the sprint car here at Daytona Bike. Could be fun, could be interesting. Boy, it could be a handful. But he's doing real well. He's going to pick up another position here in about another 4 laps. He will get by O'Donoghue and move into the 8th place overall, but still top of his class because nobody else out there running the sprint car tonight. Marcus Kramer still out here 17 laps down, but running 4th in his class overall, 7th overall, but 4th in his class in the BMW. And probably in about another 14 laps, he will pick up a position as well and move into the 6th place overall. Seven drivers left out on the track here today. Lewis Van in 5th. And we're going to take just a short break, so enjoy the show, and I will be right back. Okay, we are back here. Sorry about that, folks. Had to step away for just a quick break. But Brian Herring's still out front here and doing a great job. BMW is showing the way here today. Second place still Darren Kewen. In the BMW as well, second in his class. Jimmy Eifling in third, running the rough, third overall, first in his class. No surprise there. Eifling definitely a great driver. Dog running fourth overall, second in his class. Yes, this is a mixed class. Some go-kart thing out there. That's the sprint car. Yeah, that was Burt Barron's. He's off the track now as he did pick up one position. He was driving the sprint car. Yeah, that's pretty cool. They're not really made for road courses, but these guys, like I said, they pick and choose what they want to run. They vote on it or whatever. And he was the only one in his class out there running that. Lewis Van in the BMW, fifth overall, third in his class in the BMW. And Robbie Morrison was driving a Cadillac, is off the track now. And Marcus Kramer running seventh overall and fourth in his class in the BMW. So just BMWs and the roughs left out here on the track tonight. But thanks for joining us here on MaxSpeedTV Twitch. Good to have viewers out there that like to watch his stuff. Brian Herring still leading and trying to bring this thing home for a victory today. 53.5 minutes left in this race. Second place to Darren Kewen, now 43 seconds behind our leader, but still hanging on the lead lap. Only two that are on the lead lap: Brian Herring, Darren Kewen. I don't know why I keep wanting to say McEwen. Alright, just a short little break here for play a little commercial break, and we will be right back with you, folks. Okay, we're back here, and thank you for hanging in there with us here on Twitch, making this an eventful day on a Sunday afternoon. Nothing else to do, no racing on today, so might as well watch this kind of racing, right? Jimmy Eifling still top of his class here in the rough, running third overall. Dog second in his class in the rough, fourth overall. Lewis Van in fifth overall, running third in his class in the BMW. It looks like we've only got these 6 cars on the track right now. Marcus Kramer, the last one on the track, 6th overall, and running 4th in his class. Many laps down. He got a late start on the race here today, so but out here turning laps, we're coming down to 48 minutes here of racing left here, folks. So you'll have to be here to check out the end of this to see how this is going to turn out for these guys. A lot could still happen up in the front. You never know. Brian Herring could lose it, and Darren Kuhn come home with the win today. But that's just the overall win. They are in the same class. Both of them running the BMWs, but let's get up here to Darren Kuhn running in second. 48 seconds now behind our leader, Brian Herring. Brian up here just dominating the race today. Has led 47 laps out of all the laps that they've turned here today. And that is second to O'Donohue. O'Donohue ran, led the first 17 laps of the race, and for whatever reason parked it. And he will finish way back in the field, back in 9th place. And he was running the rough. So that'll finish him, let's see, I believe 3rd in the rough. I think there was only 3 of them out there in the rough today. Good bunch of guys right here. These guys definitely know how to get around these places. Brian Herring coming up on the back of Dog, and these guys, these cars are about equal on a straightaway like this here, but coming into the turns, that rough's no match for that BMW. BMW is pretty fast in the turns. You'll see here probably going into the first turn. It looks like Dog going to give him plenty of room. He is the leader. Darren McEwen now 49.5 seconds behind the leader. Jimmy Eifling back here 4 laps down to the leader, but top of his class in the rough. Has been pretty much all day long. You rough lovers, these cars do run these road courses very well, but no match for the BMWs on the turns. Dog in 4th overall and 2nd in his class behind Jimmy Eifling. Dog doing a superb job out here today. running 165 miles an hour. Backs it down to head into turn one. Dang, he just makes that look so easy. We'll go back here and ride along with Lewis Van. Lewis Van got a lot of damage on the front of that car. You can see the driver's side front fender there with a lot of damage, but the rear spoiler still got good downforce, and that's what you need on courses like this here. You got to have a good downforce. And of course, back here running fourth in his class, Marcus Kramer, in sixth overall, fourth in his class. Got a late start, about 17 laps down to the leader, but hanging on here, sixth overall. Going to pick up a few points for a good finish out here today. Running Daytona Bike Course, very interesting course, pretty tough. Probably a lot of you really don't care for this course, but a lot of turns, a lot of twists. Not a lot of places to pick up a lot of speed except for right here when they come back out onto the track and go clear around turn 3 and 4 and down the front stretch to the finish line. Before they go into turn 1, they cut down just past pit road exit, and it looks like Marcus Kramer may be coming down pit road. Could be his last pit stop of the day. And we will keep an eye on Marcus here to see what he does in his pit stop. Probably looking at tires and fuel, and or not. Marcus Kramer could be off of the track now. May have just said, it's enough racing for me, and parked it. 5 drivers left back out on the track. Lewis Van here being the last of them, the third place in his class in the BMW, running 5th overall. And he's got a whole lap to go to catch up to Dog, to put Dog back a place. So, but Dog's still up here running 4th overall and 2nd in his class to Jimmy Eifling. And it just skipped right over Jimmy Eifling. I don't know why it's doing that. Jimmy Eifling in 3rd overall, top of his class in the rough today. There, and it skipped right over Darren Kewen that time. Wow. Getting like double clicks on or something here. I might have to take my mouse apart and figure something, or get a new mouse. But Brian Herring's still up front. Up there by almost a minute, coming up on a minute, 52 seconds ahead of Darren Kewen. 2.5 hours today. They run another hour and a half tonight on another race, so I don't broadcast that one. I do only broadcast this one here. Yesterday they ran a 5.5 hour race, and pretty wild. They had a little bit of server issue, and I guess they pretty much all left it after about 2.5 hours because there were some server issues, I guess. So, from what I'm understanding, maybe I'm totally misunderstanding all that and don't remember a whole lot of it, but try to stay focused on what's going on here at hand. But glad you could all join us here. I know there's not a lot of you in chat here. I used to have a lot of followers here on Twitch, but it seems like since I've been broadcasting to YouTube, a lot of the Twitch followers have kind of fallen off and probably taken up other Twitch channels to watch now. Let's get up to our leader, Brian Herring. He's coming down pit road. This could be his last final stop for the day as well. Out there with a pretty comfortable lead, but boy, Darren Kewen is going to be closing up on him here. But I wouldn't be surprised if Darren probably stops for one final stop as well. Doug coming down in his pit stop. Could be his last pit stop of the day as well. And our leader is away. Now they did give Darren Kewen a chance to get out in front, but he may be coming down on pit road here before much longer, I believe. I don't know if he's got enough fuel to make it the rest of the way, but knowing that Brian Herring's out there on 4 fresh tires could make a big difference in how he does govern his pit stop. And Darren really not that far ahead of Brian Herring right now. Brian just about 5.2 seconds behind Darren Kewen right now. So coming around to the finish line, Darren will be scored as our leader and will lead his first lap of the race today. Only 5 drivers left out in the race right now. All right, Brian Herring in second here, 5.5 seconds behind Darren. Trying to reel him in and get that lead back, wants to win that class. So I wouldn't doubt Brian Herring will drive the wheels off that thing to get up into the front. So as I said earlier, folks, if you were here listening, does make a difference. Your pit stops, you know, can be make all the difference in the world here. A race can be won or lost on pit road, and as we've seen here, Brian Herring had to stop for pit, and now 4.2 seconds or 3.8 seconds. Boy, he gained a lot of time right there. Right behind our leader, Darren Kewen. Darren coming up on some lap traffic. Could be what's causing him a little bit of trouble there, but Jimmy Eifling right ahead of him. Jimmy Eifling, a third place overall car, several laps down, but top of his class. And boy, I'll tell you what, Brian Herring is coming fast here, now down to 1.5 seconds behind Darren. And Darren coming down on pit road, so let's watch Darren here and see what he does on his pit stop. It might be just a fuel-only stop, because that's going to put him quite a way behind Brian Herring. Brian Herring does retake the lead. Just what Brian wanted to do. Louis Van back here in 5th overall, running 3rd in his class in the BMW, but 5th overall. He's got to pass up a couple of more drivers if he can get to Dog. Dog quite a ways ahead of him. Doggone it. Actually not that far away behind ahead of him, and that would be for position when Lewis gets to Dog. So that would put all 3 BMWs up in, well, let's see, he's still got to get by Jimmy Eifling, but he's still got 33 minutes to do it. Eifling a couple of laps ahead of Louis Van, though, so I doubt he'll get there. Something would have to drastically go wrong with Jimmy Eifling's car for Louis Van to get to him and pass him. Dog just a little ways ahead of him here in 4th. Jimmy Eifling now coming around to go down through turn 1. 32 and a half minutes left in this race here, folks. And like I said, we will get a chance to talk to all the drivers afterwards, the ones that stayed in TeamSpeak for me to talk to. Darren Kewen now in 2nd, 58.7 seconds behind our leader after making that last pit stop of the day. Did get up there and did lead 1 lap, so that's a good thing. Dog, what the heck happened to Dog there? It looks like Dog may have taken his. I don't know. Hard to believe he would take that behind pit road running in the position that he was running, but it looks like Louis Van did get by him, so he probably just said, well, I've had enough. I'll take the 2nd place in my class, 5th overall. 4 drivers left in this long endurance race here. 31 minutes left in the race. Louis Van going to come around here and go into 4th overall this time by. Maybe we can get Dog down here and have a little talk with him. If he gets that chance to stop down, we will try to get a word in with Dog and ask him how his racing was. Still a few drivers out here running. Jimmy Eifling in third overall. Darren Kewen 61 seconds behind our leader, Brian Herring. Brian just really getting after it here. He's led 57 laps here today. Coming down to 29 minutes left in this race. Darren Kewen in third or second overall and second in his class. Jimmy Eifling first in his class in the rough, running third overall. And lastly, Lewis Van, third in his class in the BMW, running fourth overall. Got a couple of laps to catch up to Jimmy Eifling, which I doubt that he will. We'll probably have to settle for the third in his class and fourth overall, Lewis Van. Hey, dog.
Hello.
Hey, what happened out there, brother?
Not a clue whatsoever. I wasn't even on the gas, I wasn't on the brake, nothing. I was just coasting around the corner, and all of a sudden the car just listed right into the wall.
Oh, brother.
Got a meatball flag. I tried moving it another couple more feet, but I didn't even feel safe doing that, so I took a tow. I'm in the pits right now. I got another 10 and a half minutes of repairs, but it looks like iRacing thinks I'll be able to get back out there.
Well, you never know, though. You might get there to where you're ready to roll out the pit, and it'll say too much damage.
Well, normally if it's too much damage, it'll say it before you even... as soon as you get it out of the towing. I haven't had it say too much damage after it goes through the repairs. Well, how drivable it'll be after, I have no idea, but...
There you go. Oh, a lot of guys have fallen out of the race. Have you heard anything from any of the drivers as to why?
Not many of them are really falling out. Lots of them just, it's a weird time slot, so a lot of them came in and they had to do other family duties, other stuff like that. So they mentioned as soon as they were coming in that they wouldn't be able to do a full race. Like Bert had to leave because apparently nobody else knew how to cook and they needed food. I don't know. Quite a few of the people, lots of the guys that run in the league, they want to run the full race, so they at least come in and try to run as much as they can, but regular family duties prevail and they have to pop out. A couple of them, I believe, are planning on trying to come back and running a few more laps later on, but it is what it is.
Well, how was the track and how was your car on the track? Because it looked like you were hooked up pretty well out there today.
As long as I didn't do anything with the tires, like just kept the tires on that I had, after about the fourth lap, it stuck really well, which is what really surprised me about what happened there. Is I was driving fine, no worries, no issues, and then all of a sudden it just snapped and went off to the one side. I couldn't save it, I didn't get no warning or anything, so it was kind of really strange. At least it says it'll repair me, and I'll see what it's like in another few minutes, or another 8.5 minutes, I suppose. It was really surprising, and actually just about everybody in the track said, what the heck happened?
Well, no big surprise, but Brian Herring out there leading this race has led the most of anybody in the Honey Badger BMW. What do you think about that?
Brian's always solid. Unless he has Bankley up against him, he's normally one of the, up there in the front. Binkley's in and running, it's normally a good battle between him and Brian. Bad that this week Binkley's been so busy that he hasn't been able to actually get into any of the races. I think he managed to get into just one of the practices this week, maybe one or two. So he's been really working hard in real life to get going. So I believe he's going to be making tonight's race, but not too sure.
Well, cool. Tonight, the hour-and-a-half long race, you're running the same track.
Yep.
And so that should be pretty interesting. I mean, you got a lot of good drivers out there, probably some of the same drivers.
Yep.
You ran, explain last night's race there. You had a 5-hour race, and what happened on that?
iRacing is goofy. As you may have noticed during the pace lap on this layout, the pace car, it goes green and the pace car keeps on driving down the road and then does a endo there to stop at a really weird spot in the pit lane there.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those strange things where I ended up partially blowing my engine accelerating when I was driving the Cadillac last night, so I took a tow into the pits and it too much damage, so I was done for the night, and it was just down to Kevin Binkley and Jimmy Eifling, and it was to the point of where they were so far apart from each other but keeping consistent times that it was just a lapping contest. They were lapping, never even saw each other for half an hour, so they decided, you know what, let's just call it, we'll park it and leave it there. And for kicks and giggles, because we were kind of curious, because nobody else was running at that point in time, we wanted to see if a yellow got called, if it would go out, do its 3 laps, and come back in. So we called a yellow just for the sake of trying it, and that was another adventurous, interesting thing, that the pace car just sort of slid sideways up until the track from where it is, and then continued on driving. But after about 10 laps, we decided, well, this thing isn't going to come off, because it just kept on going round and round and round. Mm-hmm. We tried getting back in to continue racing, and it wasn't allowing any of us. So it was basically the server decided, no, you're not allowed to go in. Now, having admin controls, I was able to basically give everybody a end-of-line penalty, and then as I cleared it, if you clicked it fast enough, it would let you back in. I still couldn't move. My engine was still running, but I couldn't move because it gave me the meatball. So I just sat there revving my engine, and I ended up blowing it. And because they didn't really feel like running anymore, they figured, okay, let's have a race to see who blows their engine fastest, and then whoever lasts the longest out of that will have our own little virtual win. And they did that, blew up, and then just as we were about ready to say, okay, let's just call it quits, because apparently you can't end a race, you can't throw the checker early. So we were just gonna go on, do other things, and let the server finish. And Brian came back in to run a few more laps to make sure that he made his halfway point to get points, and he wasn't allowed in. We played the trick to get him in, and he decided to go around, and we were going to let him go around and get his laps. And 2 laps in, the pace car comes back in, he's on green, but it wasn't counting a single one of his laps. He'd go around 5-6 laps, and it wasn't giving him any lap. He was still stuck on 30 laps. It was really bizarre. And then we started looking at how many laps down he was, and for every lap he did, he was starting to go another lap down.
Wow.
It was going backwards.
Wow.
So that made no sense at all. And then after about 2 laps after the pace car pulled in, then it gave him the checker flag. No white flag or anything, just gave him a checker flag.
Oh, man. And
that was... The checker flag came out automatically by iRacing 2.5 hours into the 5-hour race.
Wow, that's really bizarre.
So yeah, yes, last night's race was something else, a whole bunch of weirdness. But, oh well, tonight's race seems to be going a bit better. Sort of. At least I didn't blow my engine.
Yeah, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Well, it's coming down to it, dog, here. Less than 20 minutes left in the race here. And hopefully these guys, we got 4 drivers left out on the track right now, and if you can rejoin them, that would make 5 of you.
looks like I should be able to get out there again. I'm just hoping these repairs actually repair me properly.
But you had a pretty good run. I mean, you're going to finish second in your class and fifth overall, so pretty good run. Keeping it up there toward the front pretty much all day long.
Yeah, for the most part, I had a couple screw-ups that I really wasn't very proud of, but like I was kind of curious as to how many laps I'd need to make halfway, and normally I have my spreadsheets open before I start the race so that I can just pop it up on Q and it only takes a portion of the screen and I can still see the track. But I forgot that I didn't do that, and I popped it open just not thinking, and it took over the entire screen, which made me unable to see the track, and I crashed into the outer wall on the oval portion.
Whoopsie.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, there was a couple just brain lapse, stupid things that I did throughout this race that I'm not very proud of, but hey, you get that every once in a while.
Well, Darren Kewen out here has been running the wheels off of that thing, staying on the lead lap behind Brian Herring. He did lead a lap, and that's good for him. I don't know if you give bonus points for leading a lap.
No, with our league, you get 2 bonus points for every consecutive race you're in. So if you were in last week and you're in this week, you get 2 points for the consecutive race. And the only other bonus points you really get is you get a bonus point for having a 0 incident race, and then we have a point system where smallest class gets lesser points for first place, next bigger class gets a bit more, next bigger class gets a bit more, so that if you're running by yourself in a class, you're going to get a class win, but it's not really much competition. So we made it so that there's a range so that you have a bit of a point variation depending on how big the class is. And then as well, there's a incident point variation where after the race is done, all the incident points are averaged out to how many per driver it would be, and then for every 2 incidents below that average you get 1 bonus point, and every 2 incidents above that average you get 1 point taken away. So incidents do count directly even on your point score.
Very interesting.
One of the things that helps foster safety in the league, but some vehicles like the Silver Crown and that, there's nothing helping you.
Yeah, well, we've seen the Silver Crown out there today and the sprint car, and they were really having some difficulty driving around this track.
Oh yeah, I tried the Silver Crown, and it's the first car in iRacing, and I've driven everything on iRacing. It's the first car on iRacing that I actually quit out of my own hosted session and said, no, never again.
Yep. Yeah, it's a handful. It's kind of a, what do I want to say, a low band car as far as it takes a lot to get them up there, and then once you get them up there, it's like the power band kicks in, and then they've got a lot of horsepower at the high end. But you know, when you're starting out, it's just like so doggy coming around some of these turns on a road course. But it looked like a blast to run.
The Silver Crown has 2 gears, and the first gear is really stupid low, and then the second gear is really stupid high, and there's no real nice medium point for the 2 of them to meet, so it makes it really difficult. The sprint car, on the other hand, only has 1 gear, so that's really slow to start with.
Yeah, definitely.
But the trick with that one is if you have a clutch, you can clutch slip like no tomorrow, and it actually is faster up to about 80 to 90 miles per hour to clutch slip, like just drop the clutch. And it's a neat little trick to keep the wheels from spinning, but still get lots of acceleration out of the sprint car.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'm going to pop back up. I'm back on the track now. It seems actually fairly drivable.
All right, well, good luck.
I'm going to see how much more I can do.
Okay. All right, dog back on the track. And we'll see just how good that thing can drive after quite the ordeal there. Looks like he may be a little tender on the gas rate at the moment, but hopefully he can get that thing back up to speed. A little under 15 minutes left to finish this race today. Glad you could all join us. It's coming down to the end of it here, folks. And again, like I said, we will try to get a chance to talk to all the drivers that are left in TeamSpeak here that we can talk to. All right, running back up through the field, Lewis Van, 4th overall, 3rd in his class in the BMW. Jimmy Eifling, a couple of laps ahead of him, running 3rd overall, top of his class, all day long here in the rough car. So, 2nd place, Darren Kewen, did lead a lap there as pit stops occurred. Brian Herring did stop for a pit stop, and Darren Kewen got the lead 1 lap. And as Dog said, there's no points for leading a lap here in their series that they do run. But Darren been right there all day long, 2nd in his class to Brian Herring in the BMW, and Brian Herring leading the way up front for 67 laps, and we've still got 13 minutes of racing left to go, folks. So stick around here because it's going to get fun here at the end. We're going to get a chance to talk to all these drivers and get their insight on their racing today. Our leader comes up on Lewis Van. Lewis moves out of the way, lets our leader go by. No sense in battling it out with the leader. Takes quite a little bit of time to get around this track, but... And then we also have, looks like Bert Barons Bert Barons back out on the track, trying to maybe pick up another position or two, but I don't believe that's going to happen. Showing him back in 8th place out there in the sprint car. 46 laps down to the leader. And our leader coming up behind him pretty quick. Our leader going by him pretty easily. That sprint car got a lot of power there, hanging right with them for a short time till they come to the turns. These cars not really made for the turns, but all right, our leader back up front here. We're going to probably try to stick with our leader here for a little while and see how everything goes with him. So hanging in there, folks. Just give us a little time here to get things finished up. And we're going to see these guys bring it home here today. 2 hours and 35 minutes of racing that they've been putting on at 2 hours and 25 minutes right now. 10 more minutes to go. Brian Herring leading out front. Been just dominant in this car today. Honey Badger don't care BMW. All right, 9 minutes left in the race. A little ways from the white flag yet, but it won't be too much longer here when we'll be getting this thing finished up here for the Dogs of Racing Endurance. They do run, last night they ran a 5-hour race, today a 2.5-hour race, and tonight another 90-minute race. So lots of endurance racing for these guys. This is the kind of racing they love to do. It's all about the driver and how long they can hang in there. And I'll tell you, these guys are pretty exhausted, as we'll get to talk to them there at the end of the race, but pretty exhausted by the end of these races. Darren Kewen's now 80 seconds behind our leader. Don't know if I don't believe he'll get lapped. He's the only one left on the lead lap to our leader. I don't think he'll get lapped, but anything is possible. 80 seconds behind him. That's not really all that far ahead of him. Delandriff, I'm not really sure how many he's run. I don't have the points and stuff available to me here. Jimmy Eifling in the rough, top of his class, running 3rd overall. Lewis Van in 4th, 3rd in his class in the BMW, and Dog back here in 5th overall, 2nd in his class to Jimmy Eifling. Finally getting a chance to get that car fixed up and get back out here. And then of course Burt Barron's way back here in the sprint car, running in the 8th position. Not enough laps to pick up any more laps, I believe. Pick up any more positions, I mean. But still out here running in the sprint car. Had to leave for a little bit, and he's back, so good to have him back. But we'll kind of keep an eye on Darren Kewen here to see where he is going to be according to the leader, to see if he stays on the lead lap or not. Running 2nd in his class. Been running 2nd pretty much all day. Did lead 1 lap there for a brief time while Brian Herring pitted. And but then a couple laps later, Darren pitted. And that put him back to 2nd. So Jimmy Eifling running in the rough today. Man, he's having a great day. Got to be proud of that finish. Another Jimmy Eifling class winner. Good job for Jimmy today. Lewis Van in 4th overall, 3rd in his class in the BMW. He's also had a great day out here. He's got a little damage on the left front car, but it's still been running pretty good. There you can see the damage on the left front corner. Dog still back here in 5th overall, 2nd in his class to Jimmy Eifling, running the rough today. Had a freaky accident there, had to spend some time on pit road, like about 10 or 11 minutes on pit road, and back out here running now. Not sure how it's handling. We'll get to talk to him at the end of the race too. But coming down to it here, folks, we're going to get up to our leader and see when he does get the white flag. Should be in the next lap or so here to get the white flag. Well, Burt Behrens did pick up another position, so he moves into the 7th place in the sprint car. That's pretty amazing. Running in 7th in the sprint car. Good job by him. Well, let's get back up here to our leader because he is going to be getting the white flag, I believe, this time. It'll be one more lap for our leader. Ten seconds left. They should be getting a white flag here in a minute. And one more lap, I believe, will do it here for the Daytona bike track. These guys have put on a great show out here. One more lap, white flag is out for these guys. Last lap of the race, and Brian Herring, being out here, has led 75 laps. He'll be 76 when he crosses the line. Has done an outstanding job. Class of the field today. He did have a little bit of a tough time there up in the front for the longest time, though, dealing with, I believe that was O'Donoghue that had led the first 17 laps of the race. And for whatever reason, O'Donoghue had to leave. And now Brian Herring took over and has not looked back since. All right, Brian Herring going to bring it to the win here, folks. And we're going to see it here on MaxSpeedTV. Brian Herring coming to the line. Going to finish here today. Congratulations to Brian Herring. Overall winner, top of his class as well in the BMW. Great job for Brian. Man, what a job he did racing today. And looks like Darren Kewen going to come in second. Jimmy Eifling in third. Lewis Van fourth. Dog in fifth. And believe actually scored in seventh, but he will finish sixth on the field. Burt Barron's out there with the sprint car. All right, folks, we're going to get up here in just a minute, as I'm sure they're all congratulating Brian Herring on his win today. But we will get up there in just a minute and have a chat with him and see how everything went. Whoops, he left the track. Let's go back here for a minute. And I want to get a shot of his car. There we go. We'll try to get a shot of him crossing the finish line right there. How's that? That look good? Brian Herring. Alright, we're going to jump up here and see if we can get a word in with some of these guys. But hang with us there, folks, and we'll get to talk to each and every one of them. First, we'll try to get a word in with Brian Herring here in just a second. Brian Herring, it's Rudy in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Brian, congratulations on your win out there today in the BMW. The car that I think everybody's been saying this as being one of the car to beat out on these road courses. How did that car feel for you today? Because obviously you had a great hookup.
Yeah, I just wanted to thank Bert for the paint and for the setup. He was really kind in doing that. And everyone out there today was very fast, very competitive, and very forgiving in giving space.
Roger that. Well, you bring it home to here today at Daytona Bike Course. What did you think about that setup here today with the BMW on that track?
It was pretty good. Low downforce, of course, and running the tall gearing, so I could actually run the infield pretty flat. It was really good. I just really thank Bert because he put in all the time in making it good. This week I've just been very busy in life, so it was very nice to get into a car that already drove very well.
Well, very good. Was you a little worried there at the beginning of the race when O'Donoghue was out front, led the first 17 laps, and for whatever reason he had to pull off, but got you up into the front and you never looked back? Was you worried at first?
No, he did a good job. He was pushing pretty hard, it looked like, but I just decided to sit back and see what he had. He had pretty good speed. I think we were running 37s, 38s, so he was pretty fast. I was sad to see him pull off because I was wondering what kind of strategy he was going to be running long term, but it was very fun, very interesting. He was very fast. Yeah,
now the roughs compared to the BMWs, he was out there in the rough. I don't know, kind of a surprise to me. I really didn't think the roughs would be that competitive to stay out ahead of the BMWs as well as it did. But he definitely had a great setup under that car and was very fast with it. So you kind of gave him a little bit of a challenger for a while, and then you kind of backed off. So, but great run today, Brian. Congratulations on your win overall, top of your class. Good job out there today.
Thank you, sir. And I just want to apologize to Lewis. At the very beginning of the race, we had a little bang up in turn 3. So I don't know whose fault it was, but regardless, both of us probably were in there a little bit too hot in the first lap. But sorry, I don't know if I ruined his race. But thank you, Rudy. I really appreciate it, and I really appreciate Michelle hosting the whole league.
All right. Thanks for talking with us, Brian. And again, congratulations.
Darren,
Darren, you got a copy?
Hey, Rudy, I'm here.
Darren, you come in second overall and second in your class. You did get up there and lead a little bit, and well, pit strategies kind of had to come into play there. And when Brian pitted, kind of gave you the lead, and then you had to pit like a lap or two later and relinquish that lead back to him. Was you running the wheels off of it and driving the best that you could out there to try to keep that thing up into the front? Because you did keep it on the lead lap. That's a good thing. But did you drive it the best you could?
Yeah, I think I was pushing maybe medium. I had a couple of slight off tracks just because in the early part there, the course was really slippery, so I was doing some adjustments in car where I shouldn't have in that infield and that ditch every time. There's lots of little service entrances and cars and everything to distract you there, so I probably should have been at the same lap as Brian. I just thought I'd stay out there and try and get a lap lead or two. I knew I only had a couple laps in the car, but I'm still handling pretty good. And that's just my fuel strategy. And if I come out behind him, I still probably would have been. He was pulling ahead so much. I was happy I stayed on the lead lap. I don't know if he was letting me get that or not, but appreciate it if he did. Just a great, consistent track. I was trying to stay on there, and overall it was a good race.
All right. Well, your mic was a little choppy there, but I think we could make out mainly what you said. But great race out there today, Darren. You know, you come home second in your class. That's pretty amazing. BMW, one of your favorite cars as far as on road courses like this, or not?
Well, it definitely is the smoothest car to be able to drive, and I felt that was the one I had the most opportunity to be the safest out there and the most consistent. So definitely the car I'm running right now.
All right. Well, very good job out there today. Thanks for talking with us, Darren. And you want to give a shout out to anybody special?
I just want to thank my wife for allowing me to race this morning, and we're going to do some stuff this afternoon, and just the rest of the competitors out there. Great racing, and thanks for hosting with MaxSpeedTV and doing the broadcast. It really means a lot to us and gets us out there. So thanks a lot, Rudy.
All right. Thank you very much, Darren. And again, congratulations on your second place finish and second overall and second in your class. So great job out there today. All right, we don't have a whole lot of drivers in here, but let's get to Jimmy Eifling next. Jimmy, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Jimmy, you come in third overall, top of your class in the rough. What did you try to do to keep competitive out there today, knowing how fast these BMWs were?
Well, I've just run my own race. I could keep up with them, on the straightaways for the most part, but in the road sections, it was a little closer. But I don't know, most of the straightaways I could keep ahead of them. But once the leaders started coming up on me, I let them go instead of trying to race them. But it was a pretty competitive race. My car actually improved as the race progressed, because I think I ran my fastest lap about an hour and 45 minutes into it. And the car just got better as I ran. I actually ran the whole race on the set of tires I started with, and they just got better as the race continued.
Mm-hmm. Well, knowing what you know now about how well the BMW is hooked up today, would you have chosen another class, or would you have still chosen the rough?
No, I would have gone with the rough. I was actually going to drive the Cadillac, but the infield section is hard to see out of the Cadillac because there's roll bars and stuff. The visibility is not real good, and so I just chose to run the rough because the visibility is better. Even though I like the Cadillac better, I'm actually faster in it. But it's some of those turns you can't see where everything is, because it's kind of dark, and the infield section is narrow. So I'm kind of limited sometimes on where seeing where the track is. So I just decided to take the rough because the visibility is a lot better. But I actually like the rough better than the BMW as far as that's concerned.
Yeah, very cool. Well, I remember hearing you talk about that before the race there, about the visibility thing, and it's kind of like a product of the the beast that you're driving. Some of the cars have really great visibility in them. Some of them don't. Some of them maybe a good windshield view, but not a good rear view mirror view. So,
yeah. The main thing, well, had we been running the regular Daytona road course, I'd have probably ran the Cadillac again. But the bike courses, it's actually just about as wide, but the visibility is not as good because that section of the track isn't lit up as much.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, yeah, it's the Cadillac does have some visibility issues sometimes, but I mean that's just the nature of the car.
Right, right. Well, you did a great job out there, and you know, I mean, just to bring that thing home in the top of your class today, Jimmy. Great to see you up there, and you know, I try to watch for you each and every race that I broadcast to see where you're at. You're kind of like one of my favorites out there. One of them. I got many. But good job out there today, Jimmy. And anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Just Michelle for all the work he does in the league, and all the guys who ran today, and a couple of them who didn't get here in time, who are some of our regulars. They make this what it is. That's I race because of them. So just hope we can just keep getting better.
All right. Thanks for talking with us, Jimmy. And again, congratulations.
Yes, sir. Thanks for broadcasting this for us.
Sure thing. All right, Lewis Van, you got a copy?
Sure do.
Lewis, you kind of started off with a little bit of a rocky start there. You brought it home fourth, third in your class, fourth overall. Tell us about your racing out there today and how much you enjoyed it.
Oh, it was good fun out there. Was hard, of course, picking up the damage on the first lap. I'm sorry for anyone's race who I impacted there. I'm not sure exactly who I got into, but came in, got the damage fixed. Had a few issues with the car rolling in the pits and the optional repairs not wanting to be fixed. But once that was done, got out there, fought my way back through the field, and it was enjoyable.
Yeah, fourth place overall. I mean, you did pass up a lot of very good drivers out there today. And bringing home fourth, that's saying quite a bit for the style of driving that you did. BMW, one of your favorite tracks, one of your favorite cars to drive on a road course, or not?
Well, it's a very stable platform. It's very easy to set up and whatnot. I had very little running this week. I've been very busy. This is pretty much the first time I've sat in front of my steering wheel since Monday, so it's the go-to car. I probably would have run the rough if I'd had a bit more track time, but Beamer it was.
There you go. Well, that's probably a good choice. It seemed like a car that hooks up very well into the turns. So, but congratulations on such a great run out there today, Lewis. You come home third in your class, fourth overall. You got anybody you want to give a thank you out to?
Oh, mainly to Michelle for hosting the league, and really pretty much everyone that showed up and gave me the competition. I think it was I don't know who I got into in the first lap, but I'm sorry for that. Not much else. Good race.
All right. Well, thanks for talking with us, buddy. Okay.
No problem.
We got Dog left in here. Dog, I know we just got done talking to you about 20 minutes ago or so here. But how was your car driving there toward the end?
After I had that altercation with the wall unexpectedly there, I had to have, it was pulling to the left a bit, so I had to have the wheel turned about 10-15 degrees to the right just to go straight. And it was a little bit unstable. It didn't want to turn evenly left or right. It was a little bit different every time, so I had to take it a bit more cautiously, but in the end it was still drivable, or at least I felt safe driving it for the rest of the race. So I'm glad I was actually able to cross the finish line, unlike last night where I ended up blowing the engine. But that being said, this is definitely one of those courses where track temperatures can, and even the winds, if they're gusty or not, can change how you have to drive throughout the course of the race. I know I was having to fiddle with my ABS and traction control all the way through yesterday and as well today, so it just one lap it'll be nice and stable and everything's working. The next lap, after a couple laps later, your tires will start getting a little bit greasy. You need to up the traction control, so one of those things where now with now that iRacing instituted the adjustable ABS and traction control on quite a few of these GT3 cars and other cars, it's actually really gotten me thinking to get myself a little button box or something like that. But looking at the prices of those, they're a little bit exorbitant. So I was actually thinking of just grabbing myself one of them little USB number pad things that they have for laptops and that, and plugging that in, because it gives me, what, 15 buttons or so, and just Velcro it to my rig.
Yeah. We had one of the viewers here in Twitch wanted to know how many races has Brian Herring won this season.
Oh, Jesus. Quite a few. I don't honestly know offhand how many he's won. I can tell you how many this season he's participated in.
Well, that's okay. They wanted to know how many he won, but Brian, he drove an outstanding race today. You all did, every one of you. We even had some of the guys that driving the Silver Crown, and we had them in the sprint car, and it looked like an absolutely great race out there. The field kind of fell off to just a few drivers, a handful of drivers in it. Burt Barron's driving the sprint car, finished 7th tonight overall. I mean, that's pretty amazing, winning his class, but he's not here for us to talk to. And I believe Marcus Kramer has his mic muted, so we may not be able to talk to him. But anybody you want to give a shout out to or a thank you to there, dog?
The guys running the Silver Crown, I gotta hand it to him. Keeping that thing on track is a feat that I haven't been able to do yet. I can do one lap very cautiously, but I can't do anything more in them Silver Crowns on this track. So I got hats off to anybody who's running the Silver Crown. The sprint car is actually one of my safest cars on this track. Something about the way I have my setup and the way I drive it, I wear tires through like no tomorrow. So another hats off to those that are running both of those, the Silver Crown and Sprint. Hats off to you. That's a feat that I can't do and feel safe about. Bert himself, if he would have been able to start the race, would have probably been one of the front runners easily, because his lap times in that sprint is right on par with some of the faster lap times of all the other vehicles. It's a tricky car to drive. I don't have the skill to do it.
Right.
Definitely thanks to you for doing the broadcast. I love having the broadcast. I love watching it afterwards.
Okay, all right. Well, we're going to jump down here real quick and get this thing wrapped up, and we will be back in just a couple minutes with you there, dog, and I'll talk to you some more. And let me get down here and get this thing finished up.
Yep.
Okay, so running down through the results here, I just wanted to mention Brian Herring did lead 76 laps of this race here. Congratulations to him on his win today. Let's go down through the results real quick here. Brian Herring, of course, our winner. Darren Kewen in second. Jimmy Eifling third. Louis Van fourth. Dog in fifth. Marcus Kramer sixth. Burt Barron's in seventh. Robbie Morrison eighth. S. O'Donohue in ninth. Crusher in 10th. And that wraps it up here for MaxSpeedTV on Twitch tonight. Thanks for sticking with us here, folks, and keeping me company watching this road course race here on Daytona Bike. We're watching the Dogs of Racing Endurance for a 2.5-hour race here, and they've got another one this evening, an hour and a half long. But unfortunately, I won't be broadcasting that. I have another broadcast that you can follow on YouTube. Look up MaxSpeedTV 1 on YouTube, and we will be broadcasting there later on this evening. You can also check us out on MaxSpeedTV.com. Follow my schedule along there, and like I said, normally we do broadcast up to YouTube. Dogs League here, they like it done to Twitch, trying to get some viewers and maybe attract a few really good drivers out there. So if you're interested, look them up on iRacing, the Dogs of Racing Endurance League. And you were watching us here on MaxSpeedTV.com and on Twitch. So thanks for following along and staying with us. And we'll see you tomorrow.